Well, hello yet again to another video. Now, in today's video, in Jim's shed, it's more of a question and answering session to answer some of your questions that you were asking me about the last few videos. But also, the Mini, if you just see, it's just outside the door there. Well, we have had a problem with the Mini where I have to get two front tyres fitted in SLIEVERUE tyres. That's where we're heading now, because I have a problem and have always had a problem with the two front tyres on this Mini. And in the video I will explain what the problem was, because I'm Jim and this is Jim's shed. So we'll go out to the Mini and explain, I will explain what's been going on with these front tyres. And so if you examine the tyre, you see, well, there's plenty of grip there, but actually what's wrong with these tyres is they're run flats, right? And do you remember, if you remember on the previous few videos, especially working on this Mini, I hope you don't mind, excuse the wind noise, it's quite windy out today, but I've always maintained I'm not a big coilover fan, you know, lowering and all this. So instead of lowering this car, I put 18-inch alloys on this car to fill out the arches. But to do that, I've had to put on we'll say, an extra wide wheel. And to stop the tyres from coming out over the wheel arch, I put a narrower tyre, we'll say, than what's specifically for this rim. And because they're such hard compound, they're run flats, as soon as I start driving, they won't hold the air. The air will gradually dissipate from the tyre. So I'm going to get two soft compound tyres, like what's on the rear, and get them fitted today in SLIEVERUE tyres. So that's where we're going to go right now. But while en route, I'm going to answer some of the questions that you've been asking me about the EV, more so, and the Qashqai. There's a Qashqai video on the exhaust pressure sensor valve that I'll also answer some questions on that as well. So we'll pause for the moment and we'll get into the Mini and we'll get out on the road. But for the moment, before we just pause, we're going to go out to the back and I'm going to do a cold start on the Mini so you can hear the exhaust and giving her a bit of a blast for a cold start. So, here we go. Right, so we'll pause for now and we'll resume whilst en route. Yeah, so here we are in the Mini, heading off now to SLIEVERUE tyres. I'm going to get these tyres replaced in this car because it's been a constant pain in the backside, losing air, and I just couldn't depend on it. You know, I couldn't go long journeys on it, especially. I'd have to bring a portable compressor with me, you know. But with regards to some of your questions, I got a question today from Steve with regards to the ID4 GTX, and his question was, and thanks for the comments and thanks for the questions everybody, Steve and everybody else. His question was, where did I get the ID4 and how does the grant work? Well, first of all, I got the ID4 in Kilkenny in a garage called Lahart's, they're the main Volkswagen and Skoda dealers in Kilkenny for over 65 years. I'll give them a quick plug. That's where I got it. Now, with regards to the grant, how the grant works is, now this is important, this is only for Ireland, right? The UK have a slightly different system. In Ireland, if you purchase an EV for €60,000 net price, right? Sorry, gross price €60,000, list price in other words, you automatically qualify for a grant of €5,000. If it's over 60, if it's 61,000, you don't get any grant. If it's 55,000, you get a grant of 5,000. If it's 45,000, so an EV qualifies for a €5,000 grant, providing it's under €60,000. So the GTX in Ireland, including taxes and the whole lot, business edition, which is, there's only two editions, there's the business and there's the max. The max is coming in at €72,000. That doesn't qualify for any grant because it's over the €60,000 list price. Traffic is wicked heavy here, so we're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to close this sunroof just to reduce a bit of noise. But providing the GTX was coming in list price at €60,000 exactly, 59,995. The dealer takes care of the grant. In other words, you just sign a form with a company called, or an organisation called the SEAI, the Society of European Automobile something, but it's basically the people that gives you the grant, right? Now it's more, listen, it's a paperwork exercise, you know. Oh, the lovely pour ahead is. Oh, listen to that. The supercharger of this, it's addictive, you know. But anyway, listen, getting back to the, never mind me fool acting around here, but getting back to the questions, yeah. So, when you go to your dealer, you order the car, and on delivery you sign a form, and the dealer will get the grant, not you. So the dealer will pay the full price for the car to Volkswagen, and the dealer in turn will get the grant. So you don't have to do anything really. That's how the grant system works, basically. Providing it's 60,000 or under, you qualify for a €5,000 grant. Now, with regards to a home charger, that is also eligible for a grant, and it's a 50% grant. In other words, if your home charger, my home charger is a Zippy or Zappy, it costs €1,200. I got €600 of a grant for that. Now, that's not as easy. There's a lot of paperwork, and I'm going to go through what you have to do. First of all, you have to, well, when I ordered the car, they've changed the rules since. The Irish government, in their wisdom, have said you don't have to own an EV to get an EV grant now. You can have a petrol car or a diesel car, and you can buy an EV charger and you'll still qualify for the grant. So the first thing you have to do is get somebody who specialises in fitting these EV chargers. You can't just go along and go online and buy it yourself. It has to be done by an authorised agent installer. In other words, to get the grant, so the proper paperwork is automatically filled out. You'll excuse the radio. Radio in this car just decides to come on for no reason. A bit like the ID. Everything just happens for no reason. But anyway, yeah, so you have to contact an authorized SEAI authorized installer. You then pick which charger you want. The one I picked was the Zappy 7.5 kilowatt hour charger. It'll charge an ID4 in about 5.5, 6 hours, right? So he then will give you a price. You pay, we'll say, €300 deposit, right? That secures the order. He'll tell you then when he'll be out. In the meantime, you need to contact the SEAI for them to email you or post you the proper and the necessary forms to fill out. And there are many, right? So he'll come then and fit the charger, fit the now, providing your house is under the proper conditions and meets the criteria. If you have 2 electric showers in your house, that could cause a problem, right? He'd have to put in what's called a priority switch, which is an extra €200. However, I have 2 electric showers in the house, but one of them is like a power shower, the other one is an electric shower. The Zappy EV charger is able to adjust its speed to suit, so you don't have to get a priority. It does all that for you. It does it automatically. If, in other words, if your Zappy is charging at 7.5 kilowatts, right, and someone turns on the shower, that's 3.5 kilowatts, the 7.5 will automatically go down to 4 until the shower turns off, and then it goes back up. That's how it's called, a smart charger, right? That's the one I went for. So he will come and he'll examine the property and he'll say, okay, this property now meets the criteria, right? And he'll thus fit the EV charger, whereby you in turn will have to pay him €1,200 minus your €300 deposit, if that's what you paid or whatever. But basically you pay for the charger. Then he in turn will give you what's called a Safe Electric Ireland certificate of installation filled out. He'll also give you a couple of other forms that he fills out, and he will ask you to hold on to them until such time as when you are contacted by the SEAI, where in turn you will have to send that off to them. Now you could email it to them or post it. I was able to email it mine via, you get like a download option where you download you take a picture of with your phone and you can download it and email it off to them. They in turn, when he goes back to his office, he will say, right, I fitted an EV charger. I'm just pulling in here for petrol. This thing likes us up a petrol, right? So what we'll do is we'll pause for the moment while I get the petrol, and I'll resume where I was. So I've just put 15 litres of fuel into this car. Needless to say that the needle didn't move up very far. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, once all the necessary forms have been filled out by you and the installer has to verify the work that he has done, right? You then get an email saying it can take up to 4 weeks before payment will be made of your €600. Now, you include your bank account and the whole lot so that you know where to put the money, but there lies the problem. Now, I have the EV, I think 10 weeks now at this stage, and I got the EV charger fitted, I think it was 3 weeks after I had it. I got it fitted about 3 weeks later. So I have it about 7 weeks since the charger was installed. It is now the last day in September, and I haven't received grant yet. So if you've purchased an EV, right, and you've purchased your EV charger and you're awaiting your grant from the SEAI, and I'm not ashamed to say it, right, don't depend on it, because you'll be waiting 7 weeks so far. And I'm told, I rang them last week and I said, hello, this is Jim's Shed, I'm just inquiring about my grant, any sign of it, you know. Oh, it's on file in a filing cabinet. So look, God knows when I get, I might get it before Christmas, but I'm not holding my breath. So if you're dependent on the €600, you can forget about it, right? You'll get it sometime. When, I don't know. They say there's a backlog. A backlog? Sure, I mean, there's EVs being sold, but not many, because they can't be got, right? And I don't think people are rushing out buying EV chargers, especially those who don't have an EV charger, even though they are entitled to the grant also. But I don't think they're queuing up. Now, having said that, the guy who fitted mine is flat out, he says, there's not enough hours on the day. So obviously people are buying these things. But the crux of the whole thing is, if you're waiting to receive your grant, I'm afraid you'll be waiting, because I'm still waiting, and it's more or less almost 2 months later and no sign of it. But I wouldn't want to be dependent on it, you know. So that's the story there. With regards to, I spoke briefly about public chargers. Stay away from them if you can. Get a home charger, right? I know it'll cost you €1,200 and you'll eventually get your grant, right? But use that. I've worked out it costs me, I moved my electricity supplier to what's called a two tariff setup, whereby I have a day rate and a night rate, and I charged EV, as you know, if you've watched all these YouTubers, the ID4, you can program it to charge at a certain time at a certain date each week, or you know, in repetition. If my EV now is at home, if I plug in the home charger, it won't charge, because it knows, well, I don't start charging until 11 o'clock on a Friday night, and that's what I do. You can also program it to have your steering wheel, your seats, the car, ambient temperature all set. For when I get up at 3:30 in the morning, as you know, I'm an early riser, the car is preheated and all for me. It's great that way. But what I will say, and it's sort of in preparation for your EV, there's a company in this country called ESB Networks, right? You have Electric Ireland, but you have ESB Networks, and they are pushing everybody to accept what's called their smart meters, right? Well, I can tell you, I didn't go for it. I don't want a smart meter, because they'll know it's like everything else. They'll know everything about you, everything about what you're using, how much you're using. They say that's a good thing. Well, I'm a bit old-fashioned that way, you know. And funny enough, when the guy came, I told him I wanted a 2 tariff meter, day and night, and they can't refuse you. They have to install it. I went to ESB Networks, I phoned them up. I'll put a phone number for all these, including the SEAI. I will put all this for you in the link in the description below, right? That'll help you as future EV owners. I'll put all that. It'll take me a bit of time, but look, you know, I enjoy doing this kind of thing, and you know, I appreciate subscribers subscribing and asking questions and the whole lot, you know. So I will put a link and the phone numbers of ESP networks and tell them you want a 2 tariff meter. The guy that came and fitted it said, you know what, he says, you're doing the right thing. You're getting, because the smart meter can have up to 4 tariffs in the 24-hour period, and they can jiggle around that without you knowing. So be very careful if you're getting a smart meter. You're better off stick to your own analog meter, or else get a 2 tariff meter in and charge your car at night. So we're almost at SLIEVERUE Tyres, and already my soft wheel icon came up on the car saying your front left wheel is soft, you need to do something. Now I know a lot of you will say, oh, you could have a buckled wheel. No, there's something iffy about that particular tyre. So rather than get 1, I'm going to get 2. So there's something fishy going on there with that wheel. So what we'll do now for the moment is we will pause yet again. Right? There's many pauses in this video, but that's what Gym Shed's all about. You know, we'll pause for now, and we will resume when we're at SLIEVERUE Tyres. Is right. We're just bringing her in. So we've got the car in. This is Dave from SLIEVERUE Tyres, and we've had problems with this wheel, right? As I mentioned earlier on. And Dave, you're going to come up with, hopefully you have a solution for this.
Yeah, well, we hope, Jim, that you know, we'll remove the tyre first anyway, and hopefully we can see if there's any problems with, you know, the rim. But I suspect anyway that it's probably a change of tyre will do, you know.
Yeah.
So we're quite possibly going to do that. But we'll inspect the rim first anyway, you know.
Right. Well, we're going to go ahead now, and we're going to film that. Here, these are the new tyres we want to put on it. Now Dave reckons these are a softer compound tyre, and hopefully that will cure the issue. And I'm hoping the rim is not buckled, but I'm almost certain, as Dave mentioned, it's a problem. There's a weak part of that run flat tyre that every time it comes to that point on the road contact, she spurts out a bit of air. This is what we reckon is going on. He's just going to jack her up there now. Yeah. While we're here now, JP, we'll get a look at the Miltech exhaust which has been fitted at the rear. Oh yeah, stainless steel the whole way down. Taking off the rims. Straight and true. Look at the other side. Straight and true. We've suspected it's the tyres that's been given the trouble on this car. So hopefully now we get to this. These new tyres will put that problem to bed. That's the plan anyway. So Dave is now removing the wheel from the car. Yeah, oh yeah. Yes,
Leaking through the back of the wheel, Jim, you think, yeah?
What's that?
Leaking through the back of the wheel, you think?
Yeah, the back of the front, but we reckon, you know, it's only when the car, as I said, the car has been sitting in Jim's shed all week, never lost tyre pressure until I started coming, we start driving it, then she starts losing air, you know. Yeah.
You'll see that for a second.
We'll leave her there now for the moment. He's going to take off the other wheel as well. Yeah.
This one's not an issue.
That's not an issue with that one, no. Miltech brakes. Johnny, if you want to film them?
Brembo.
Brembo, yeah. Brembo brake discs and Brembo special pads, competition pads and bigger calipers. That's a good idea here at SLIEVERUE Tyres. Magnets at the side of the lift so that when you take off, you just, you know, great idea. That's good thinking from Dave and the boys here at SLIEVERUE Tyres, you know. I suspect, and as the lad said, we reckon the rim is fine. It's the tyre when she's in motion, she's losing air at some weak point in the tyre, you know. This is what we expect. Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, I suppose like it's hard then to find a leak then when it's when it's on the car. It's leaking, then take it off the car, it's not. So
No, it's not, exactly.
We can't find
This
it.
is where the problem is, but look, I don't like run flats anyway, they're too noisy, as you told me before.
Yeah.
They're only a waste of time, you know.
Very hard.
Yeah, you might change the valve as well, I'm sure you'll do that. Yeah. Yes, when you take the tyre off, put her up on the balance and check through this. Before you use that around. Yes.
You have that grab, the other way. You grab it from the
Which
back.
area?
We have to grab this from the face of the wheel.
Alright,
Then you have to put on these plastic.
rubbers, yeah.
Plastic rubbers.
I like that. I like that.
You see them there on it there. You're not
Yeah. Yeah. So this is Sam, also from SLIEVERUE Tyres, and this is the tyre that Sam and the boys have recommended for this Mini that's going to cure this problem. Sam, what's so great about this tyre, in your opinion?
It's cheap, it's cheerful,
It's not that cheap, it's €100.
well, in terms of tyres for a supercharged Mini,
All right.
it's pretty cheap, right?
Okay,
it's D
yeah.
for wet grip, it's D for fuel, so coming from a run flat to this is going to be 100 times more comfortable.
Yeah.
You'll have great wet grip, should
Very
be nice
good.
and smooth once we determine whether the alloy has a buckle in it or not.
Well, hopefully it won't.
We
We're
should
going to
be-
when we get the tyre off, we're going to put it up and we're going to check it for trueness, and I'm hoping it's not the alloy. But I like the way she's designed to on the outside,
for the
on
water,
outside. Just go in on that, JP. You can see the way she's going to throw the water out. I like that. That's a good feature. Yeah, she's also category.
She's D for wet grip, she's A for sound, so like your existing tyres are probably up around 76 or 78 decibels.
Oh yeah, definitely inside
10,
the car.
10
yeah.
decibels less, it's going to be so much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Low noise, great grip.
Brilliant, brilliant.
So once we can deal with this shake, we should be right.
Right, we'll pause for the moment and resemble when we get the wheel up on the balancer, and hopefully it's not buckled. Well, we'll film this, right? So let us know when you're ready, JP, on the camera. We're going to check the rim for trueness.
Right, so we're just going to check on the back of the rim whether there's any flat spots in it,
Yeah.
Jim, right?
Yeah.
So we'll come around the ear then and bring this up. No, the rim is perfect.
Rim is perfect, yeah.
Yeah, there must be a high spot in that tyre, Jim, causing that shake.
Right, yeah. That explains that, so.
So we can get on the new
That's
ones
good
then.
news, good news. Yeah. It's coming to Halloween, right? So I suspect these tyres will be put on a bonfire somewhere for
Oh,
bonfire
they won't,
night.
Jim. Jesus, don't be saying that, will you? Those tyres definitely won't be going on a bonfire.
Yeah. Eamon Ryan, our Minister for the Environment, wouldn't be happy with that.
No.
No. Yeah. New valves being fitted as well, so.
New valve with every new tyre.
New valve with every new tyre, yeah. I didn't know there was an inside and an outside to those tyres.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's all about displacing water.
Displacing water, yeah. Huh? Yeah. If you watched my video on the review I did on the Seat Leon Cupra, this gentleman here, Sam, is the owner of that car, and he kindly, big thanks to Sam, he kindly lent us that car for the day to do a review, and very nice car it was, and still is. I presume he still has it kept between the ditches.
So far anyway.
So far, yeah. So he's just greasing up the tyre there now, getting her ready for. Yeah. Look how easy that tyre now is slip on.
A bit different to taking off the run flat tyre.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Just like that. What pressure now should be in these, Sam?
So we'll go at 36 psi, 2.5 bar.
2.5 bar, 36 psi. Very good.
Nice, comfortable pressure.
Yeah. Stand back now. I like that sound. Yeah. Yeah. Put these to the test on the way back to the shed. I want the balancer up now. So you're inputting the width of the rim into the balancing machine.
Yeah, so the distance from the machine and then the width of the rim and then the rim size.
Okay. Distance from the machine, the size of the rim and the width, yeah, okay, with you now, yeah. Yeah. He's taking off the existing weights. Yeah. It's thinking now. 10 and 40. I presume that's grams,
That's
metric grams.
Metric grams, and that's an average number to see there, yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Is there imperial grams, there is?
I didn't know. Well, grams is imperial, isn't it? No.
Well, you just said metric grams.
Sorry, milligrams, I think, is metric. Am I right?
I haven't a clue.
Yeah. The brains behind the operation is behind the camera. And he's staying very quiet.
Very
JP
quiet
is not
altogether,
saying anything, right? We're, what would you call us, lads? We're just tyre men or car men. We don't know anything about grams. We just go by what's written on the on the weight.
You know about fuel price and that, it's
Fuel prices, I know about fuel prices. I put 15 litres in the car a few minutes ago and the needle only barely moved.
Yeah, you barely see it, yeah.
Barely moved, especially on this car. She likes us up, but anyway, I don't mind that because, as I says, I'm a petrol guy. It doesn't bother me, you know. Yeah. I say they're looking good.
Yeah, so
0,
we're
0.
0, 0, yeah.
0, 0. Now, that's the one was the problem.
Yeah.
So what we do is we put it on the same side.
What side was that on, Jim?
Passenger side, yeah.
Okay.
Or near side.
back to the shed.
No lock nuts, thank God.
Rarely ever in car parks and that to come lock them in the shed as well. I don't like lock nuts either. No, I know, look, you know, you don't want your wheels stolen, but
Not too many people stealing wheels anymore, I don't
no, no.
Everything's brand new there, I'd say, is it?
Oh, everything's brand new, right? Yeah. Balance this way now.
Okay, we'll do it. Did he not do that?
Oh no. What's the apprentice name?
Charlie?
Charlie, yeah, that's Charlie in the middle there. Busy working away. Doesn't talk, he just does the work. Gets the job done. So, big hand out to Charlie as well. Yeah, the three amigos here at SLIEVERUE Tyres, just outside Waterford. Fast and friendly service.
Service with a smile.
Service with a smile. Yeah. Won't be too smiling when I get the bill. But anyway. Oh, I forgot my credit card. Yeah.
You'd be good for an eye over you, Jim, wouldn't you?
I am, yeah. Kitchen shed, right? Inside and outside. Huh? Yeah, this week, I think this week takes a lot of weight, doesn't it?
No, it's much the same as the other
Well
one.
done,
25,
okay.
35, no, I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah,
No, we're good.
yeah. You see those weights there now you have on that?
Yeah.
When I go back to the shed, I'll probably paint them black.
Yeah.
Just to make it look
Yeah,
good.
let them blend in. Yeah.
Yeah, blend in. Yeah.
We normally have black ones. But our supplier is out of them at the minute.
Right, very good. Yeah.
I'm sure it's only Jim's shed anyway.
Only Jim's shed. This fella now is starting to rub off on me. It's only Jim's shed, you know. Oh, yeah. This is starting to turn into a comedy show. Yeah. What size are they again? They're 205, 55 or 18. Yeah.
No, 205 40.
40, 205 40s. Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant.
New brake calipers and everything.
Oh,
Jim.
the whole lot, yeah. Spared no expense. mechanic there, you know. Yeah. We actually found a few buttons on it. I think because it's a hard compound, they do extends the air that pressure comes from the tire. I'd say that's what was going on. No, I don't here.
There we got it for. I'll tell you what, I'm before.
Get you to drive it out now, Johnny, and I'm film. Yeah.
Oh, no bother yet. I guess I down in 2 seconds there, yeah?
Yeah. Do you need to bring her for a test drive now?
Yeah, I'll bring her for a little spin
Yeah.
to make sure.
Just to make sure it's okay. He's going to do that now, yeah. I think it's just an excuse to get a spin on the Mini, you know, but he's going to have a look there now and see. Make sure everything is okay.
We don't want Jim Shed's wheels falling off on the way.
No, that wouldn't do. That wouldn't do. There'd be no link in the description below. Huh? Yeah. Now he's going to drive her out now, and he's going to examine now and see how she's going.
Alright, Jamie, the keys inside.
Keys are in there, yeah. Walk away. So, we've left SLIEVERUE Tyres. Listen, you know, big shout out to the boys there, you know. They go every time I go, every single time I go into that place, they go out of their way to help you out, you know. And we're a long time waiting on these tyres. And Dave recommended, he said, look, get a medium soft compound tyre. He said, we reckon that's going to sort it out. And already I can feel the difference in the car. I don't have that harshness coming, harmonic harshness coming up through from those tyres. You know, grip. Oh, look, this car always gripped well, you know. But yeah, listen, you know, every single time I get into this car, it puts a smile on my face, you know. But getting back to, yeah, hopefully this is going to sort out the problem. The rim was okay. Look, I suspected that anyway. If the rim was damaged, I would have known about it, because I would have remembered damaging it, if you know what I mean, because nobody drives this car. Nobody. Only me. I'm the only person drives this car. I'd say I could count on one hand the people that has driven this car. Myself, my wife has driven it. My son took it to work one morning, never asked for it. And the man behind the camera, JP, JP, you've driven this car, haven't you? Yeah, he's given thumbs up. He doesn't speak, he just gives thumbs up. And what was your impression? Thumbs up again. Yeah. Anyway, I knew the rim was going to be okay, and we did find, I don't think we picked it up on camera, we found pinholes. He reckons the tyres became porous and it was leaking under load, but when the car was parked it wasn't. So look, I've reset the tyre pressure monitoring system, right, and hopefully I don't see that light coming on between now and the time we get back to the shed. But yeah, getting back to your questions, also on the Nissan Qashqai exhaust pressure sensor video, right, a lot of people ask questions. Does that, one question was, I think it was from Demetrius from the United Arab Emirates. Hello Dimitri to you. Great to see you tuning into Jim's Shed. Yeah, does not apply to petrol cars. Petrol cars don't have DPFs. They have catalytic converters, right? Similar, but they don't have what's like EGR valves. They don't suffer from that type of thing because they don't build up of soot. They have, as I said in one of my videos, a petrol engine produces carbon, whereas a diesel doesn't, Anyway, so yeah, the question was, does that apply to petrol cars? No, doesn't. What mileage can that problem occur, where you have your engine warning light and your exhaust pressure sensor valve fault coming up? It can happen at any mileage. A car, they say a brand new diesel engine starts building up soot straight away, immediately. So my message is, if you have a diesel car, drive it on. Don't be keeping it under 2,000 revs. Diesel engines don't like that. They're happiest when they're thundering down a motorway at 130 kilometers an hour. Consistent driving. Build up of heat. You're burning that soot. Whereas petrol engines, no, it's the opposite. Especially cars like this. When you drive them on, like I'm just doing there now. Look. Oh, love this car. I have to slow down because the speed limit's only 100k along here. Anyway, yeah, petrol engines is the opposite, But yeah, so any other questions? Yeah, I had another question with regards to the EV, and lads were asking me the tyres and why do they have EV and why are they so expensive? Well, the reason why they're so expensive is because there's EV written on them. That's the reason why. There's so much torque in an electric vehicle. Like that ID4 GTX has 470 Newton meters of torque, all being pushed. 60% of that is being put onto the rear wheels and 40% on the front. And that's why the rear tyres are larger than the front tyres. Plus, they're a special compound. They're built to cope with that kind of torque. Like you'd see in Goodyear Cup Sport tyres. They're similar. Very expensive. 280, 300 euros a tyre. Hankook tyres is the tyres that were on the EV. So yeah, lads, we're going back to the shed now, and what we'll do is we'll do a conclusion. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the spin in this car back to the shed, and what we'll do is we'll come. There's an EV6 in front of me. Look at an EV6. I considered one of them, and I don't know, I'm a Volkswagen head. I always was, but look, EV6, I think last year's Irish Car of the Year, I think, I could be wrong, The year before, ID4 was World Car of the Year. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll go back to the shed now, and I'll tell you, and we're going to check the air pressures in these tyres, and hopefully they'll still be the same. So for the moment, we'll conclude when we're back in the shed. So we're back at the shed, even though, well, we're not in the shed. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this little device that I got in Halfords, and it checks your tyre pressures. So I'm going to now have a look to confirm that we've fixed the problem, right? He put 34 psi into the tyre before we left. So without further eloquence, we'll now check. So now you just simply push it into the I hope you can see that 34.5. So problem has been solved. Just to confirm the far side, yeah, 34.6. This is only 0.1 of a difference. So guys, yeah, thankfully that has fixed the problem on the Mini. No more puncture issues with the car, and hopefully now we'll have many miles of happy motoring. So without further eloquence, I want to give a massive shout out and a massive thanks to Dave and the guys inside at SLIEVERUE Tyres for solving this issue for me on the Mini. And once again, keep the comments coming, keep the thumbs up, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until the next video, thank you very much and goodbye.